our final soup today in today's series, we're going to be making a broccoli soup. Now, broccoli is one of those vegetables that a lot of people don't know how to incorporate or even may not necessarily enjoy it as a side dish. So I found a really nice and simple way for you to enjoy adding those vegetables in to make a delicious soup. So we're going to be using some broccoli. We're going to use a sweet potato, onions, ginger, salt and pepper. Again, using locally available ingredients that are pocket friendly for your waistline and really good for your health. So come join me in the kitchen as we make some of this broccoli soup. So we're adding our coconut oil again to our mix. Looks like I have a little bit of water. So always make sure, you guys, you don't know, you always want to make sure your hands are completely dry. Mine weren't obviously as dry, and that's why you can see those droplets of oil jumping up. So just please make sure your hands are completely dry. So we've added some coconut oil. Then I'm going to add some onions in here. And remember, you can use any onions that you love. I like the purple onions. If you have the white onions, you can use those. If you have the green onions, chives, whatever it is, you guys, you can absolutely use any of these onions. We're gonna cook this, let them saute for about 4 minutes or so. Once they are a little bit brown, I am going to add a little bit of ginger because I love that ginger again in there. It's one of those anti-inflammatory foods that's really good for you and really good for, it's a body healing, it has some healing properties for your body. A little bit of that ginger, again, not too much, but what ginger does is it really brings out a different type of flavor to your foods. If you want, you can also add garlic in here. So I'm one of those people that don't necessarily care much for broccoli, I'll be very honest with you. But when I tried this soup for me, this is how I ensure that I incorporate my broccoli into my nutrition so that I'm still getting all those antioxidants that the broccoli has. So once we have our ginger going, then I'm going to add the broccoli in here. And the thing with broccoli, you don't want to cook it for too long. And the thing with broccoli, you don't want to cook it for too long because you want to preserve all its minerals. But I'm going to saute these, really make these flavors sit in, and I'm just going to let it cook for about a couple of minutes, about 3 to 4 minutes. I'll add my salt, just a little bit of salt. I am going to add a little bit of pepper, just to give it that extra zing and kick in there. And this soup, honestly, for dinner, you can have this with like a side of fish, or you can have this with a side of chicken, and it's an absolutely delicious and complete meal once you add all those other ingredients in there. Now that we've had done this, and it's probably been cooking for a couple, right now it's about 3 minutes. I'm gonna let it sit for a few more minutes. We're gonna add a sweet potato. Now, sweet potatoes are great because now what they're gonna do is it's really gonna give it that element of creaminess in here. And I love to see, so boil your sweet potatoes, which are boiled, or you can bake them to maintain the flavors. And you can add even the skin because that's where all the nutrients are, in the skin. So you can cube it up, you can chop it up any way you like to. I'm gonna mix that up, cook, let it just sort of cook for 1 more minute. Then I'm going to add my water in here. 1 minute, add some water, and then we're gonna blend that soup. How quick was that? Now I'm just gonna add some water. And you know, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the recipe in the comment section, so that you can be able to make these soups at home. The good thing is once you add water, you're actually using this water to blend it in, so you're not losing any minerals. That tends to happen a lot when you cook maybe some food, some soup, and you end up, maybe when some people end up pouring some of that water. You don't want to do that because you want to really maintain all those minerals in here. And again, I'm just going to taste to ensure that it has enough salt. No, it does not, so I need to add some salt in here. And we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. Remember, I'm a mom and this is what I cook for my family. That's good. This is what I cook for my family on a regular basis. I try to incorporate, it's a good way of hiding your vegetables in there. If there's some kids who are finicky eaters and they don't like to eat vegetables, adding soups is really, making soups with vegetables is a good way of making your kids eat those vegetables. All right, now our broccoli soup is done. We're gonna turn off the stove. And again, we're gonna wait for it to cool down. Remember, you always want to make sure that your soups are completely cooled before you actually put them in the blender. So we're gonna give it a couple more minutes, wait for it to cool down, then we are going to blend it. Now that our soup's done and it's cooled down, we are going to add it to our blender and we are gonna blend this up. And just see how it tastes. And here we've got our broccoli soup, and I'm gonna have my friend Linda taste test it and let me know whether this is something she can add as part of her menu. All right, Miss Linda. So we're gonna add the broccoli, and if you've noticed, I've kept the theme of adding some nuts or keeping the nuts in there. So we'll add some of these. So we have our broccoli soup, then we're gonna just add garnish a little bit of nuts. And by the way, if you have avocado, that would be great for you to add. Those are fantastic. It's a good fat to have. We're gonna taste test this and see whether this is something she loves. All right, Miss Linda.
One is really good. It's a little bit, it's different from the rest, but it's broccoli.
It is broccoli, yes.
Yes, but it actually does taste good, and I think kids would actually eat this.
Great. Fantastic. Now remember, you guys, I'd shared, I personally don't care much for broccoli. So this is the way I like to add these vegetables in there. And it does have a slightly different taste. It's not like the other soups that we just had. But again, remember, our bodies, it's all about experimenting, trying out all these different flavors and giving our bodies different nutrients, different flavors. So you guys, I'd love for you to try out these soups. Let me know what you think about it. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, on Instagram, and at treasure.fitness. And as always, remember, you've got one life, one body, so treasure it.